All right, so here on this Tobacco University video, we're going to be looking at the chain of custody and how this relates to crime scene in the processing and handling of evidence. So first off, what is the chain of custody? Well, chain of custody is a recorded list of all persons who come in possession of an item of evidence. So the goal is to maintain a document that includes exactly what happened to the evidence from the time it was found to the time it is presented in court. Anyone that goes to see it, anyone that gets passed on, that chain of custody, that chain that's you're able to follow a paper trail of where that evidence went. Now, the requirements of the chain of custody here, we want to have the list of evidence, including the item number and a brief description. This identifies the location the item was stored, the date and time of all transfers that may have occurred, signature from the individual releasing the evidence to another individual or location, the signature of the individual transporting the evidence if it applies, and the signature of the individual receiving the evidence from the other individual or location and the reason for that transfer. So as you can see, there's a lot of requirements associated here with the chain of custody, but it is a very important process here. Now, the presentation of the chain of custody, well, when we're looking here, the evidence container must have identified markings. The collector's initials should be placed on the seal as well. If evidence is turned over to another person, the transfer must be recorded as an evidence of transmissional sheet. And it is very important that that documentation is made so that that piece of evidence that was collected can uphold in the court of law. Lastly, what does one of those transmissional sheets look like? Well, here's just an example of one. And they're all documents, the chain of custody for a list of items of evidence that are numbered consecutively. So we see kind of these examples of these transmissional sheets here, all the information that's required. So all the hard work that went into acquiring the evidence to begin with, and ensures that it isn't tampered with in any way, and it can hold up in the investigation of a crime scene.